Hey folks, this is a video response to the TrueRae. Um, I'm watching your video, not my problem. Um, with your permission, I'm going to show, or well, let you listen to a portion of this.
We have, through the years, spent so much time saying, I know it's bad. I know we have problems. I know that isn't right. And this shouldn't have happened. It was unfair. We have, all of us, been so burned out on wars, war after war after war. And it seems that they never find a reason not to have war.
My response to that is we got to keep feeding the military industrial complex. It's the only thing that keeps America alive, you know. We've sent everything else across overseas. My question is how long do we even send that overseas? But anyways, let's get on with this video.
It's almost like Webster's could take the word peace right out of the
Yep,
book
yep.
because for whatever reason, it just doesn't come to fruition as badly as we will it, as badly as we want it. And this movement, when we look at all the scandals that have taken place in our government, in all governments, I mean, I don't think there's a country that is exempt from the problem of corruption to some degree or another. And we look at these things wanting a change, wanting to make things better, and yet we sit back and we say, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do.
Yes, there's always something you can do. You don't have to sit for it.
What can we do? There's nothing we can do. So, yeah, it's bad. Yeah, that's wrong. I am afraid. FEMA camps, detention.
Sadly, it will not go to that point for me. It will more than likely be a body bag. I will not go. I will not comply. I will stand and defend my town, my neighbors. I've got only one option.
Unconstitutional laws, executive orders, going against our Constitution, trying to take away our guns.
Wait a minute. He's a constitutional scholar.
Our Second Amendment, our Fourth Amendment, the First Amendment, the Constitution. Saying that the Constitution is outdated, that's like saying America's outdated. That's the foundation of our country. Maybe we should just sit back and do nothing. I read in a lot of comments that people say, what's the use? No, I know it's bad, but you're wasting your time.
I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to reinvent the tinfoil hat. It's going to be more, it's going to have more of a stealth design to it. And it'll probably be painted flat black so I can become invisible to them. Okay.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. I think that thinking is exactly why we're in the position we're in today.
Yeah.
There's far too many people not wanting to get involved.
Mm-hmm.
It's like standing on the side of a street, looking across the street, and you see somebody get mugged by a criminal. You see it happen. You watch it and play. But you do nothing. Somebody comes up and taps you on the shoulder and says, "Didn't you see that? Did you see what happened?" Yeah, I saw. Well, man, that was awful. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. And then along come the police. The victim's on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
They're hurt. And you and the person that was speaking to you both cross the street. And you stand up brave to the cops and you say, "I saw it happen. I saw it. I saw it with my own two eyes." And you give them a description. Of course, you and the person next to you are not going to agree on the description. You might say the guy had a striped shirt, and the guy next to you says, "Oh no, he had a blue shirt on." That's
Yep.
the way it works.
Yeah.
And the officer takes the information and then turns around to you and says, "Did you do anything?" And you say, "Well, yeah, I watched. I got all the information I could."
You didn't do anything. You really didn't do anything. Preach on, sister.
"I researched what the guy was doing. He even had tennis shoes on, black and white. I think they were Nikes." And the officer says to you, "Well, okay." Then the victim on the ground says, "Why didn't you help me? Why didn't you help me? There were two of you and one of him. Why didn't you help me?" Of course, by then you probably have a crowd of 10, 12, all witnesses to the crime. And why didn't you help? Not my job. I'm not a cop. I didn't want to get involved. I can't get involved in that. What if I got hurt? So the victim's on the ground, and
Uh-huh.
you're an eyewitness that didn't want to get involved.
Now, how wrong is that? I have a CCW. I have it to protect myself and mine, me and mine. But if I see someone else being harmed, life threatening, I probably would pull. Since the castle doctrine stands in this state, I could pull it earlier and say, do you really want to do that? And stop it. But that's me. We're talking about compassion here. Sadly, sister, this is something that has been lost.
We have far too much of that. Our heroes are pretty depleted. Most people get on here, they won't even show their faces. So many people will not show their face.
Yeah.
You don't know who they are. What are we afraid of, really? What is it that stops us? What makes us not want to get involved?
I'm thinking it's just plainly, and sorry to be blunt about this, but people only give a fuck about themselves. They're very self-centered. They don't look at the good that others can provide around. Looking at a community right now, right here in New Hampshire, out in Grafton, I'd love to get out in there. I am actively looking. They're all for self-preservation. They're all for homesteading. They're all for looking out for one another. Somebody has this, you could use it. Okay, you can use it if you can do this for me. And it's a big barter community, much bigger than where I'm at. But I'm getting off track. I'm sorry.
Especially when there was one perpetrator, one mother, and 12 people. Do you not see how out of balance that is? How many people does it take to tackle a thief, to save a person's life, to protect a neighbor?
Just another human being.
We got to get past this, my friends. And that's what the 21st is about. You don't have to do a thing. You don't even have to cross the street. Do nothing. Absolutely nothing.
We're going to leave this at that, but just my feelings. Peace out, all.